Casablanca, city of hope and despair, located in French Morocco in North Africa. The meeting place of adventurers, fugitives, criminals, refugees lured into this danger-swept oasis by the hope of escape to the Americas. But they're all trapped, for there is no escape. Against this fascinating background is woven the story of an imperishable love and the enthralling saga of 6 desperate people, each in Casablanca, to keep an appointment with destiny.
I was willing to shoot Captain Reno, and I'm willing to shoot you.
All right, Major, you asked for it.
Of all the podcasts and all the towns and all the world, you decided to listen to ours. And tonight we're here bringing you one of the greatest films of all time, 1942's Casablanca. But I'm not here to chew your ear off by myself. No, I'm talking about tonight's movies with the usual suspects. First up is a man who I met when I was just 3 years old. He was probably somewhere in the range of 5 to 15, I'm not sure, but I knew back then this was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. My good buddy and yours, David Corsetto, how are you doing this evening, and what are you drinking?
Wonderful. I've been drinking vodka for the last hour or so I'll just stick with that.
And joining us as always is a man who many would consider a citizen of the world, at least based on this movie's definition. A man just like any other man, only more so. Mr. Christopher Morris, how are you doing this fine evening, and what are you drinking?
Doing well, Michael. I am also drinking vodka on the rocks. I am drinking, why can't I remember the type of the brand of vodka? Grey Goose. Because it's French, Dave. Because it's French.
Oh, okay.
I am drinking, once again, sparkling cider, which is not French at all, but there is alcohol in it.
At least it's a spirit.
It is a spirit. Ooh, and it went flat since last time. I didn't put the cork in right.
Excellent. Dave looks excited.
He is excited. Oh, is that a pillow I see? A blankie?
Oh, blanket, yeah.
So Casablanca, this is the first time I've ever seen it. Just to give you some stats on it, released in 1943. It premiered in 1942. I think it had a premiere, but it came out wide release in 1943. Directed by Michael Curtiz, not sure. A screenplay by Julius J. Epstein, Philip G. Epstein, and Howard Koch, based on a play by Murray Burnett and Joan Allison, which you could really see this being a play. And there's also an uncredited writer by the name of Casey Robinson who rewrote some of the romantic scenes with Bogey and Bergman. Casablanca, as I said, is starring Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Paul Henreid, and I'll say it, the great Claude Rains, who before this I only knew was the Invisible Man.
All right.
This
great Louis Renault.
This isn't a little unknown gem we're trying to promote to you guys. This is number 3 on AFI's 100 greatest American films of all time.
Too low.
It has a
what's
Metacritic.
What's number 1? Gone with the Wind?
Citizen Kane, probably.
Citizen Kane, Godfather, and this. I think those are the 3.
Where does Gone with the Wind rack up on that?
Do you want to stop and look up right now?
Do you expect Mikey to know him offhand?
No, but like,
Mikey, where does Lawrence of Arabia? I was thinking about this movie today.
Where's Robin Hood Men in Tights fit in?
Listen. I've only seen it because it's the genre, right? So
it is the genre.
I didn't know what that was. Did he say genre?
I think he said.
I meant to say genre.
I think he said some kind of illness.
Isn't that the game you play with the wooden blocks?
Hold on. Listen, this is when movie stars were movie stars and movies were pieces of art, right? So
yes. You're right.
Where did this rack up with the Oscar nominations and wins.
Oh,
and all
funny.
that stuff.
Well, that's a good
Funny you
question.
should
We
mention
do
that.
that
Mike is gonna
every
finish his staff.
fucking
Yeah.
movie. We do that. So, okay. First,
Yes.
yes, it has a 100 score on Metacritic, a 99% critic score. I can imagine one person obviously didn't like it. A 95% audience
Nazi.
score. The 5% are people who don't like movies in black and white. We know a few. It had a budget of 950,000, and it made over 4.2 million at the box office. This is in 1943. David,
Yeah.
to answer your question, it was nominated for a bunch of awards. Humphrey Bogart was nominated for Best Actor, but he lost to some guy named Paul Lucas for a movie called Watch on the Rhine. We'll never do that.
Bullshit.
Claude Rains was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He lost to Charles Colburn in The More the Merrier. Arthur Edson was nominated for Best Cinematography. He lost to Arthur C. Miller, The Song of Bernadette.
fuck?
That was a black and white.
Owens won. He'll tell you what they won.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. Owen Marks won was nominated for Best Film Editing. He lost to something called Air Force. Max Steiner, Best Music for Song of Dramatic or Comedy. He lost to someone named Alfred Newman, not the guy from Mad Magazine, The Song for Bernadette, but it did win the Academy Award for Best Screenplay, Best Directing, and Best Picture.
Okay, but if it won all those awards, wouldn't it be safe to say that these actors should have won their fair share?
Well, think
'Cause the
about
acting in this
how many
movie
times
was
Scorsese
ridiculous.
didn't win.
I don't know.
There's so many great things. Yes, exactly. You never know, and those pieces of irrelevant.
Right. It's
Trash.
always funny
It was funny
when you
because
see
I haven't
who they lose
heard.
to.
I usually, have heard of, how green was my valley. Is I don't know. It's like random movies that great movies have lost to, but I never heard of any of those.
But it's like
any
when
of
you
those movies.
when you saw like Miller's Crossing didn't win this, and you see all the movies that won that year, you're like,
Right.
oh, I know all these movies, and none of these really you would say, oh, these are classics. except
Exactly.
Casablanca.
So I could argue. I always say, Mike, there's only so many movies that you could argue with the best
They're in
movie
your
of
top
all time,
five.
right?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no. This
Yeah.
is a different ranking. There's so many movies. It's a good debate. I thought so many movies you could say this, in this person's opinion, is the greatest movie of all time. The Godfather.
Yes.
There's probably like
When I
20,
heard
30
Citizen
movies that you could-
Kane, and then I watched Citizen Kane, I said, okay,
You could
I can understand it.
You could certainly say it about this movie. It is really perfect. It's a perfect movie. I didn't see it until I think 2005, after I met my wife, but it's just so entertaining, as I like to say. It goes down smooth. There's
Yes.
it's not a boring old black and white
It's
film.
fun.
My friend, exactly. My friend Christine, who we mentioned, Brian Kuchar, Christine, who may do a podcast with us soon, but I mentioned Casablanca and she said, that's boring. I was like, she says, I just remember it being boring. I was like, you need to watch it again, because it really, it's just extremely entertaining, unbelievably written. The dialogue is
quick
just so,
quips of
clever.
That's it, yeah.
One of the best plots of all time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a love story
Love story, right?
that everyone can kind of relate to, because they've all been through these pieces of shit in their lives, right? And what it does to the characters is just incredible to watch.
Yeah, it's about sacrifice and
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
really blew my mind was this movie is dealing with World War II and Nazis and France, and this is done in 1943.
right.
Well, it was probably filmed in 41 or 42, but like that's when it's actually happening. Like they don't know
Just
the full
amazing,
extent.
right? After Pearl Harbor, and I guess they released it to coincide with the North Africa campaign for the Allies. Which, you think about it, it's amazing.
Like at this point, does the world know the full extent of the Nazis and the concentration camp and what they were doing there, or they just know
No.
of them? Right.
No.
'Cause they brought
Right.
up concentration camps in this movie, and I'm thinking, they don't. It's like what they know
Yeah.
at that time.
it's very interesting looking at it from that perspective too, right? So, and then when you see all the people that were in the movie that were like refugees.
Yeah,
or,
I saw. Yep.
Was Casablanca, was that actually? So I know that there's French occupied areas in Africa
Morocco.
that we fought against the French. So it's not Casablanca though, right? Because the U.S. did fight France. That was supporting.
Well, Vichy France, right, was obviously the Nazi sympathizers. That's why he throws the Vichy water away at the end. Spoilers, but I'm not sure as far as how much historical accuracy it has. Obviously the movie revolves around Casablanca being, in Morocco, being in French Morocco, being this way station.
I didn't even know Casablanca was a real place.
State, but people trying to go, you didn't think it was a real place?
Until a few years ago. I was like, I thought it was the name of a place. I know now it's Rick's, but I thought the place was called Casablanca, like in the movie.
You thought, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mikey, real quick, what is the capital of Morocco?
M.
I'm just kidding. Pretty good. It's Rabat. But like I said, it's just a great plot that Casablanca is like the way station, and people trying to go to Lisbon, trying to get to Portugal before they can go to the United States, and it's just the plot is so entertaining and everything that's going on. Script is so great.
You're mixing in the character of the people who killed, to get these papers. I mean, you kind of figure it out. The love story, the danger this guy Victor Laszlo's in, plus just the plot of this kind of underground, but like not that underground criminal kind of way station.
It's awesome.
Kind
and
of,
then the crooked police prefect, is that what Claude Rains, that's what Louis is in charge of. The crooked policeman, the lovable crooked policeman, which not great. So lovable, but like I said, the script is just great. All the character actors are in it are great. But so I don't know why I wrote down this quote. Roger Ebert said it's a movie about a man and a woman who are in love but sacrifice love for a higher purpose to defeat Nazi scum. I added that part, but it's just one of the all-time greats, one of the best scenes that I will get to that in movie history, which I think. I don't know if you guys will have it as one of your best scenes, but we can get to it whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Let's.
You sure, Dave?
I'm watching Ingrid Bergman right now, and she is fucking hot.
Boom! There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Our first hot alert of the evening. We haven't even started the movie.
I didn't even mention it.
If I can go back in time, I'd definitely date her if she would let me.
You would,
I don't know why she would, but, but
on
a side note, Bogey was very short too.
That's true.
Bogey was shorter than her.
Was he?
He was.
She was 5'9". I read it.
He's 5'8". Yeah. They shot it so he was tall, so he looked taller, of course.
The Tom Cruise effect.
You see the very old timey credits. You can see the map of Africa.
I do love when all the credits are right at the beginning of these old movies and the end just ends.
Yeah, exactly. And you get the credits and you get, the cast, Bogey, Bergman, Claude Rains, like I said, great character actors. Like Peter Lorre and who did you say? Why can't I think?
Henri.
Yes, but who was Ferrari?
Oh, Jesus, I didn't write it down.
Sidney Greenstreet. Yeah, Sidney Greenstreet.
British guy here.
I guess he was in a lot. You get the quick La Massade.
The freedom of the Americas.
Right, the French national anthem. Does a little preamble about the world.
Not everybody could get to Lisbon directly, and so a tortuous roundabout refugee trail sprang up. Paris to Marseille. Across the Mediterranean to Oran. then by train or auto or foot across the rim of Africa to Casablanca in French Morocco. Here, the fortunate ones, through money or influence or luck, might obtain exit visas and scurry to Lisbon, and from Lisbon to the New World. But the others wait in Casablanca, and wait, and wait, and wait.
Shows the globe. It shows, you know, refugee trail, Paris to Casablanca, can pay to get their way there, to Lisbon, then to the New World. Some can only wait.
Already with this, I was like, what? I thought this was a love story. What's all this?
Right.
What's all
You're
this
like,
going on?
What's all this politics?
Yeah, I have to know. I have to do homework.
So you get the police announcement. 2 German couriers murdered on a train to Casablanca. Round up all the suspicious characters. Moroccan police round up some guys. I let one guy has expired papers. He runs, they shoot him. He has Free France. You could barely see it. Free France propaganda.
I love how there's no blood visceral. There's just the guy, great old time acting.
I do have a problem. I do have a problem with the couple of deaths in the movie, the shooting deaths, especially, you know, the Colonel Strasser. Spoilers. So I like how they have the little, you know, they show some con man tells an older couple.
Pickpocket there, yep.
Pickpocket.
I really felt like just looking at the scenery, I said, man, you could see Indiana Jones just walking right by.
Oh, yeah. You know, it was great. They have some, you know, besides the dialogue, I think some great shots too, like some classic shots. The cinematography was great with like her in the mirror, and you see that just
the light, just the lighting.
His shadow when he's opening his shadow when he's opening the safe, and you know, it's pretty cool. So you see a plane flying in. They show Rick's Cafe American. The Germans land. Major Strasser, who, by the way, we talked about, the actor who plays him. I guess he got paid more than anyone.
Oh, really?
Oh.
The guy, I don't remember his name.
The main head Nazi.
Yes, but he was, in real life, he was he fled the Nazis because his wife was Jewish, and you know, they wanted him to denounce her, and they said he could stay in Germany, and he wrote down that he was Jewish or something. He's just something heroic. So.
Conrad Veidt or Veidt.
That checks out. Yes. So ironic that was very heroic in real life. So the Germans land. They talk about the German papers were stolen. He's greeted by Captain Louis Brunel. The papers would provide a safe visa. They pretty invaluable. So they told him a suspect will be at Rick's tonight. So then we get a POV shot entering Rick's. Pans it to Sam playing piano and singing. Good old Sam. Shows all the little interactions going on, a lot going on. Dave, did you notice Mr. Martini was
I did notice Mr. Martini was there.
Why you drink so much, Mr. Bailey?
I've been watching that lately a lot too lately at night. So just.
Well, it is, the weather is getting cooler.
Yeah.
So, someone asked Rick to drink with them. He doesn't drink. You don't see his face yet. He signs a check and they pan up. It's pretty cool. Smoking a butt. Great introduction
I like that they show him. He's playing chess by himself.
Playing chess by himself. It's awesome.
Very symbolic.
Yep, absolutely. Some banker tries to make his way in. Rick tells him that fuck off, basically. And then Ugarte comes and sees him. The great Peter Lorre trying to talk to Rick says,
yes.
Too bad about the couriers. Rick calls them lucky because now they are honored. Yesterday they were just 2 German couriers.
So many clever, just
little quips like that.
Thought what?
By him especially.
What right do I have?
Ugarte wants to have a drink with Rick.
May I? Too bad about those 2 German couriers, wasn't it?
I got a lucky break. Yesterday there were just 2 German clerks. Today they're They honor dead.
You are a very cynical person, Rick. If you forgive me for saying so.
I forgive you.
Thank you. Will you have a drink with me, please?
No.
Oh, I forgot you never drink with any. I'll have another, please. Yes, monsieur. You despise me, don't you?
Well, if I gave you any thought, I probably would.
But why? Oh, you object to the kind of business I do, huh? But think of all those poor refugees who must rot in this place if I didn't help them. Well, that's not so bad. Through ways of my own, I provide them with exit visas.
For a price, Ugarte. For a price.
But think of all the poor devils who can't meet the nose price. Oh, I get it for them for half. Is that so parasitic?
I don't mind a parasite. I object to a cut-rate one.
Well, Rick, after tonight, I'll be...
If I gave you any thought, I probably would.
I actually love that line. I'm going to use that line a lot with Mikey.
Thank you. I've used that line. I've used a version of that line with you already from Mad Men. Very similar.
Mm.
So yes, exactly. It's the Mad Men line, Draper's line, very similar. So Ugarte says, I only provide a service, and visas for money. He's like, I don't object to a parasite, but I object to a cut rate one. So Ugarte says he's leaving, gives Rick the papers. He's going to sell them for more money than ever.
Why did he give Rick the papers? Just so that they couldn't find him on him?
Yeah, I guess.
It's like, I'll be back in a few hours.
I think he somehow trusted Rick, right? So
I feel like a lot of people did.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see, with good reason, some of it. So he doesn't want to keep. Rick says he doesn't want to hold on to him too long. Says, not overnight. And then he points out again, the couriers who were murdered had these papers. He says he's a little more impressed with him. Hides the papers under Sam's music, I think. So
and the piano.
When Ferrari comes in with his great white suit, Sidney Greenstreet. You gotta love Rick in his white tux, right?
Classic. Which I believe, was it Temple of Doom? Harrison Ford, bringing up Indiana Jones again. Harrison Ford in the white tuxedo, I believe, is paying homage to Rick.
Oh yeah, that great
the beginning. Yeah,
that's an underrated scene, actually.
Yeah, it was a great scene. Yeah,
right.
The fact is, these guys, and obviously the actresses, they were just absolute fucking movie studs.
They were.
Like, they owned the screen.
These are like
the scary thing is, like, he's only 11 years away from passing away in this movie.
Some of them were like a couple of years.
He was 58 when he died.
Wow.
So he died in 57, so this is 11 years before his death. I mean, he was
so it's funny that Conrad, that German we were talking about, he died soon after this movie. He died at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died in Hollywood, he died on the golf course.
But these guys were in their prime during this era.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, sorry.
They're an old age by then.
That was old age, yep. We just so Sidney Greenstreet comes in, he wants to buy Rick's. He owns the Blue Parrot, right? He tries to buy Sam also for his place. So this is when
he would offer him more money.
Yes, he would offer him more money. He doesn't want to go. He's like, let's ask him. And then you see the character Yvonne.
David Hot Alert. Repeat. This is a David Hot Alert. This is not a test.
He gets her bounced. He has her, tells the guy to take her home and come back, right away.
She was hot too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She was wearing a midriff shirt.
Yes,
that?
I thought that was
in the 40s.
Yeah, 1940. Dave, I didn't ask you. Oh, I'll wait till we get to Ilsa. So this is when we see Louis.
A true Democrat.
He comments about him getting rid of women, right?
I love Louis Armstrong's character in this.
Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong? What?
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
racist.
You meant Neil Armstrong.
Talking about Captain Louis. Louis
Captain
Renault.
Albano.
No.
Oh.
They see a plane to Lisbon. He asked him if Rick would ever want to return to America. Speculates why he wouldn't want to return.
Yeah, they never really
Right.
said why he's, yeah.
They say about his background, about his fighting now. So tells Rick he's going to arrest some murderers tonight. Rick kind of pauses, says, tells him not to warn them. He's like, I don't ever get involved. So he tells him Strasser's coming to Rick's. Rick says he can't be coming just for that. He says someone else is arriving for a visa to get to America.
Rick, Laszlo must never reach America. He stays in Casablanca.
It'll be interesting to see how he manages.
Manages what?
His escape?
Oh, but I've just told you, Rick.
Stop it. Escaped from a concentration camp. The Nazis have been chasing him all over Europe.
This is the end of the chase.
20,000 francs. Says it isn't.
Is that a serious offer?
I just paid out 20. I'd like to get it back.
Make it 10. I'm only a poor, corrupt official.
I was like, is Casablanca that bad? It didn't look so bad. Stay there.
So Louis, he's like, oh, so he needs an exit visa. Actually needs two. He's traveling with a lady. No matter what, he can't leave. And he's like, why do you think I would help him? You ran guns in Ethiopia. You fought in the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, they give a little background.
Rick plays it off like he got paid, but he would have got more if you paid for the winning side. Got paid by the winning side. So there's good chemistry between these two, right?
Yeah.
Louis was saying he doesn't interfere with the Gestapo, and they don't interfere with him, which he obviously bows down for sure, because he can, he could see which way the wind is blowing, as he says. So they call him, and he tells them the Germans are there. He hops to it, right? Gets right to it. Makes sure Strasser gets a good table. It has guards at every door. Tells him he's going to see the arrest of a murderer, and the guards say they're already surrounding him. He wants to cash the chips in. First, he runs out, puts the door, and then he starts
please
shooting.
Let me cash my chips in. Yeah.
Yeah. And they let him walk away. I'm surprised they just didn't smack him out of his hand. So he runs out and he shoots randomly and towards the door.
I love that there's a shooting, all this, and then it's just like, all right, everyone go back to your business.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
just no big deal.
Rick?
Typical day in Casablanca.
So Rick gets introduced by Louis to Strasser and the other Nazis. He asks Rick some questions about his past, asks him if he thinks Germans could win the war. He stays neutral, obviously. They have a dossier on him. He grabs it. He's like, are my eyes really brown?
That was great.
They tell
He's
him,
a wise ass.
yes, he's a big time wise ass. And he does, keep politics out of here. He doesn't say too much. So
He's
Strasser
just
tells him-
bitter. He's so bitter in the beginning, obviously.
He is, but
You learn why, but he's very bitter.
Strasser tells him Victor Laszlo's in town, feels him out, tells Rick they intend to get him. He's publishing lies about them. I'm sure they're all lies. So Laszlo and Ilsa walk in, everybody's staring. Sam's probably like, oh shit, because
Sam knew right away. Yeah.
I love
Dave,
that. I love Sam's character.
Dave, as great as Ingrid Bergman was, would Donna Reed have been better as Elsa?
Oh, I don't know which one's better. No, I don't know. It's so hard.
She's better looking, but Elsa.
Who is?
Donna Reed, I think.
You think John Reed's better looking?
Yes.
I do. Michael?
Yes.
I don't know. Sometimes, yes.
Sacrilegious. This kid,
Ingrid's pretty hot.
she is. And she's got the,
Big eyes.
the foreign foreign
Yes.
thing
Oh,
for
yeah.
this role, obviously.
Yes.
With just a
She's
couple of
great. She's great.
pervs.
So
As soon as she
also
walks in, Sam looks at her like, "Oh fuck, I'm
I know.
fucked."
Yep, that's
And
what
he's so
she wants to
loyal.
leave. She's nervous already, with Victor's in public, and guy comes up and asks just about selling a ring in America, and Victor's like, trying to get rid of him, and then he sees it's some symbol. I guess it's
Of maybe the La Resistance.
yeah, some free something symbol. He's like, oh, I'll meet you. I'll meet at the bar. And then he's like, oh, I don't want the ring, just so everybody hears it.
Distinguished visitor.
And
Thank you.
Louis introduces himself to Victor.
The present French administration hasn't always been so cordial.
May I present Miss Ilzerant? I was informed you were the most beautiful woman ever to visit Casablanca. That was a gross understatement.
You're very kind.
Won't you join us? If you will permit me. Oh, no, Emile, please, a bottle of your best champagne and put it on my bill. Very well, sir.
Captain, please.
Oh, please, monsieur. It is a little game we play. They put it on the bill, I tear up the bill. It is very convenient.
Captain, the boy who's playing the piano. Somewhere I've seen him.
Sam,
Yes.
he came from Paris with Rick.
Rick, who's he?
Mademoiselle, you're in Rick's. And Rick is,
Is what?
Well, mademoiselle, he's the kind of man that, well, if I were a woman and I were not around, I should be in love with Rick. But what a fool I am, talking to a beautiful woman about another man.
She asks about the boy who's playing piano. Ouch.
That was I picked that up with like, oh my god,
Yes.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, wait till we do True Romance.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We have to do True Romance.
Yeah.
Talk about random. Sorry about that random interjection during Casablanca about True Romance. Not really related, but another great flick. So, Louis asking questions to Ilsa, and she's like, "Oh, which Rick am I in?" He's like, Louis, a little over the top. He's like, "Oh, well, if Rick was a woman, I would fall in love with him."
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
I know, a little strange.
How, I knew the French were progressive, but
right. So introduces Strasser. Laszlo gives him an attitude right away. It's good. It's good. They square off. He's, lucky you're not on French soil. He wants to have a meeting. He's like, all right, I'll we'll meet the next morning.
and he goes like, I was like, oh, he's not actually going to go to the meeting. And you think
exactly.
like, I'm surprised the Nazis don't just grab him up right then and there. But
Right,
I guess
I know.
there are
Exactly.
rules in unoccupied France.
So Victor meets with the guy. The guy's part of the resistance. I guess this is, I've written down, the ring is a symbol of the Cross of Lorraine. So Berger, this guy's name is, tells him Ugarte was arrested because they were going to buy the papers off of Ugarte. So they talk about plans. Louis comes over and buys him drinks. Berger gets out of there. So Ilsa's talking to Sam. It's been a long time. She asked him to play it. She asked him to play. Asked about Rick. Sam's telling her he's gone for the night. She can tell he's lying. Tries to protect him. Leave him alone. You're bad luck for him. So tells him to play it. Sam, obviously.
She crushed his life. She changed his life for, obviously the worst.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good. Very good.
I guess
the worst.
I guess it would have been better.
I drank too much. Listen. Here's the thing. Hold on. Have you ever had a girl that's really fucked you over? Not you, Mikey, because you obviously only have one girl your whole life.
I mean, I'm gonna abstain from this one.
Yeah, let's. We can go down a rabbit hole here, but
that's a different podcast.
But it obviously changed the course of his life. He was a fucking bastard in this movie.
Right.
He became very selfish because of that.
He did become bitter, but she did not do much wrong, right?
She found out her husband was still alive.
Right.
That's
no.
Well, he didn't know that. He had no idea.
Right. He didn't know.
We know.
Exactly.
We'll get to it. Obviously. So she tells him to play it, Sam. Right. We don't know.
What about the end? Let's talk about the end.
Okay, people that are listening to this have already watched the movie, so we get that. But go ahead. Keep going.
Well, you could say that about every podcast we do.
That's true.
So he tells him to play at Sam, not play it against Sam, and he plays time as time goes by.
I'll hum it for you. Sing it, Sam.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by.
Sam, I thought I told you never to play.
Sings it. Sam sings it. Good stuff, right? Rick walks in, hears it, he gets all pissed off. Then he sees her.
Asking about Rick, and here he is. Mademoiselle, may I present...
Hello, Elsa.
Hello, Rick.
Oh, you've already met Rick, Mademoiselle. Well, then perhaps you also...
This is Mr. Laszlo.
How do you do? How do you do? One hears a great deal about Rick in Casablanca. And about Victor Laszlo everywhere. Won't you join us for a drink?
Oh, no, Rick, never.
Thanks, I will.
Well, a precedent is being broken. Emile?
This is a very interesting cafe. I congratulate you. I congratulate you. What for? Your work? Thank you. I try. We all try. You succeed.
I can't get over you two. She was asking about you earlier, Rick, in a way that made me extremely jealous.
I wasn't sure you were the same. Let's see, the last time we met...
Was La Belle Aurore.
How nice, you remembered. But of course, that was the day the Germans marched into Paris.
Not an easy day to forget.
No.
I remember every detail. The Germans wore gray. You wore blue.
Yes, I put that dress away. When the Germans march out, I'll wear it again.
Ricky, you're becoming quite human. I suppose we have to thank you for that, Mademoiselle.
Ilse, I don't wish to be the one to say it, but it's late.
So it is. And we have a curfew here in Casablanca. It would never do for the chief of police to be found drinking after hours and have to fine himself.
I hope you didn't overstay our welcome. Not at all.
Your check, sir.
Oh, let me, my party.
Another president gone. This has been a very interesting evening. I'll call you a cab. Gasoline rationing, time of night.
You'll come again. Anytime.
You say goodnight to Sam for me.
I will.
There's still nobody in the world who can play as time goes by like Sam.
He hasn't played it in a long time.
Good night.
Good night. Night.
So they're talking about the last time seeing each other in Paris, you know. I remember the Germans invaded. I remember every detail. Germans wore gray, you wore blue. So they have to
It's just his delivery.
Yeah, it's great. So, but it's great you don't know exactly, obviously, the backstory. So Rick pays, breaking precedent again. So there's a pretty cool shot of Ilsa in the foreground and Victor's behind off to the side. I don't know if you noticed some film nerd stuff, right? So Rick's boozing hard at his place. Sam tells him if he's going to bed, he gets mad. He thinks she's coming back. Sam won't leave him. Asks Sam what time it is in New York.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
He does the great line, all the gin joints and all the towns in the world, she walks into mine.
There's so many like
classic
classic lines that you've heard in different respects over the years, and they all come from this movie. There's so many of them in
Right.
this movie.
That you don't know where they
Right.
came from. You're sick of hearing them all, you know. Even. So want Sam to play it again, right? And this is, they zoom in on when he's smoking, and it's kind of a cheesy flashback, like we said. So they're driving in Paris, having a romantic time. He is looking at you, kid. I guess he ad-libbed that, maybe.
He ad-libbed it 4 times then.
Yeah, I guess.
He is looking at you, kid.
They were pretty hot and heavy. He kind of looks like he's smitten, right?
Let's get it on, kid. You and me. How about you and me hit the shack?
That's why there's no man in her life. He's dead. Sorry for asking. Nazis invade. He's got to get out because of his war record. He's drinking with Sam Plan. He's looking at you, kid, again.
Hey,
Germans will be there tomorrow, they announce. They don't know much about each other. He wants them to leave together. She says they'll meet at the station. Wants to marry her. He's hooked on that Ilsa P. She says, kiss me for the last time.
Once you get the taste, kid.
It's pouring at the train station. It's a great shot of the letter, though, right? You have to
Yes,
read it
the
fast.
letter, and the letter kind of, the ink
Can't go with
running.
them.
Well, he was crying on the letter.
Yep. Kid.
I don't.
The letter's crying?
He was crying. What was he crying and spitting all over it?
Oh, you think the letter? I hope that was spitting. God damn it, Sam! This letter's all sticky now. Hold it together.
I've gone and made a mess of myself, Sam.
This took just a terrible turn for the few people that'll get to listen to this. So Sam gets him to leave. Back at Rick's, he's shit-faced. She shows up. His accent's, I said his accent. Her accent's pretty good. She said needs to talk to him.
Rick, I have to talk to you.
I saved my first drink to have with you. Here.
No, Rick, not tonight.
Especially tonight. Why did you have to come to Casablanca? There are other places.
I wouldn't have come if I'd known that you were here. Believe me, Rick, it's true. I didn't know.
Funny about your voice, how it hasn't changed. I can still hear it. Richard, dear, I'll go with you any place. We'll get on a train together and never stop.
Don't, Rick. I can understand how you feel.
You understand how I feel. How long was it we had, honey?
I didn't count the days.
Well, I did. Every one of them. Mostly I remember the last one. The wow finish, a guy standing on a station platform in the rain with a comical look on his face because his insides had been kicked out.
He's pissed at how things were left. She tells the story of how she met Victor. She thought he was dead. He says some mean things. I don't know specifically. So she, let's see, meeting at Louis' office. Okay, she leaves. The next morning, meeting, right? Victor and Elsa and Strasser, they do show up. Tells him Louis
where else do they have to go?
And Strasser tries to get him to give them the names of all the other resistance leaders, and they'll let him go. I doubt they would have let him go, by the way.
Right.
He was in a concentration camp for a year, wouldn't give up the names then, so why would he now? And they tell him Ugarte is dead. He's kind of shit. So, and Louis is like, so I'm making the report now. I'm not sure if he committed suicide or he died while trying to escape. What a cut up that Louis is.
Now, is Louis a likable character, or is he just in it for himself?
He gets likable.
Well, he had a man
likable.
He had him and does some unsavory things to underage.
That's true. That is true. They did kind of, and at the end, I had a question about that a little bit because, well, we'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there. So, Rick goes to the Blue Carrot. I've been drinking. The Blue Parrot. Ferrari wants to buy the letter of transit from Rick. Says he thinks he knows, where the letters are. Rick says Strasser and Renault probably do too. So Victor shows up here probably to get the letters and visas from. Was he told Rick had them? I forget. He doesn't know.
I think they think Rick has them.
No, this is, you know what? No, they go to meet Ferrari. Ferrari is the one that tells them. I just remembered. I know it happened. here,
'Cause I know later Rick leaves.
They go to
on
get
purpose.
pieces from Ferrari because he provides that service. Rick doesn't. Rick's just
They just let it happen. The police.
Rick lets it happen. Right. He's very neutral. Rick apologized for being drunk because he's outside. Wants to know why she stood him up in Paris. She won't tell him. She said, "I saw the real Rick," And he asked if she was afraid of always being on the run. That can't be it, right? She tells him Victor Laszlo was her husband when she was in Paris. That's what she said. He's like, "Oh shit." So
It's
this
like,
is what Ferrari said. It's not going to be possible for Ilsa to
bitch.
get out with the visa. No, it's not going to be impossible for him to get the Laszlo a visa, right? He says maybe he can get Ilsa one. She won't leave without him.
Right.
So, he lies to her a little, and nice little interaction. They have good chemistry too, right?
Who?
Victor and Ilsa too.
Yeah. Victor kind of.
I don't think it's their true love, but she.
And he knows it.
Yeah, exactly.
You think Victor knows it?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so too.
I think he cares for her, but his love is his life is the fight.
His cause is right.
Yeah.
It's like bigger than everything, and that's why she admires him. So she does.
Because she says later, you were lonely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry, took a sip. So they tell Ferrari they're still looking for two pieces, and then he tells them Rick might have the two pieces. So that's why they end up going to Rick. Back to Rick's pickpocket guy does his thing.
Yeah, it was good to see him again.
Nazis are there. Louis has a drink with Rick, and they talk about how the Germans tossed the place looking for the letters. Louis asks him directly. He's like, kind of knows that's a no asking him because he goes, "Are you fishy France?" Or basically telling him to pick a side too. So he's like, point taken.
Now, is this when that guy Carl goes over and has a drink with those two old people who said they're going to America, and they seem like they're trying to talk English?
That's coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
That's coming up. Well, first you get Yvonne comes in with the German, right? One of Renault's men is in a fight with them. He slaps the German, slaps him. He punches him, and Rick comes over, brings it up, and the Germans, Strauss is like, "See, this is what's going to happen." They're loyal. So the old couple celebrating, they go into America. Yeah, that was kind of pretty funny.
Trinken nur die Angestellten.
Thank you, Carl.
Für Frauleichtag.
Thank you, Carl.
Und für Herrenleichtag.
Carl, sit down. Have a brandy with us.
To celebrate our leaving for America tomorrow.
Oh, thank you very much. I thought you would ask me, so I brought the good brandy. And a third glass.
At last the days came.
Well, Reichstag and I are speaking nothing but English now.
So we should feel at home when we get to America.
A very nice idea.
To America.
To America.
To America.
Liebchen, sweetness out. What watch?
10 watch.
Such much?
You will get along beautifully in America.
Like they don't know how to tell time. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna do great in America."
Exactly. Like I said, nice, awesome little scenes.
Yep.
Like of the side characters. So some young girl comes in. I don't know how young, but asks if Renault is trustworthy. Her husband's trying to win money playing roulette, right? And she asks if a man would forgive a woman if she did anything to save them, even if she never.
So that's when I was like, "Oh, she and the policeman."
Yes,
Louis made whoopee.
So
they actually made it because when he left the office before, they're like, "A young woman's here to see you." It's like,
yeah, he's all getting himself.
Oh,
yeah. So Rick said she's underage too, or whatever, right?
Or enough, but then she says she has a husband. So
right, and then he's like, "Oh, Louis, more of a free thinker."
Yeah. He's a
progressive, right?
He's a kink, I think. Kinky.
He's a kink. He's in love with Rick if he was a woman. So
he's very French.
He is very French. So this is great. Victor. So when she was saying that to Rick was thinking about it himself, right? Would a man forgive a woman who did anything to save them, right? I think Rick was.
Yep.
So Victor and Elsa show up. They got to play. They play roulette in a minute. Victor and Ilsa show up. Rick makes a comment that she probably wants to see Sam. Probably wants to see Sam to remind her of happier days. Rick gets him a table. And then he even tells Sam to play "It's Time to Fly," right?
That's when he tells her she'd like to hear it, right? Like, kind of being a jerk about it. Well, definitely being a jerk about it.
Exactly. It's funny because it's like the awkward. It wasn't even that awkward when it's as much as you thought it would be. But so this is a great part. The kid's playing roulette. Tells the guy working there, tell him to play 22. Then he keeps his stack there. He wins again. So tells him to cash out. They're all happy. Rick's like, that's the deal. How's it going? A couple thousand less than I thought it would be. Rick laughs. Girl gives him a hug. Louis puzzled. So the guy says, I'll be at your office at 6. They got to get the papers. And then he says, I'll be there at 10, right?
Right. He says, yeah, we'll be at your office at 6. He goes, okay, I'll be there at 10. Yeah.
Slunk. Oh, strange that you won. Maybe not so strange. Louis pissed off. You are a sentimentalist, like I thought. I'll forgive you this time to getting in the way of my little romances, creep. Victor comes up to Rick and he wants to talk. Goes to his office, tells him the importance of the resistance. And I'm just a saloon keeper. I stay out of politics. Victor points out he ran guns and fought the fascists. Why can't I say that? Too much fascists in Spain. Offers him money, 100,000 francs, 200,000. Rick says no.
He wouldn't do it for 3 million, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Victor can't figure out why. He says, "Ask your wife." He's like, "Beg your pardon? You heard me." Ask your wife. I was totally stunned. So this might be the best part, one of the best all-time parts in any movie, in my opinion. So when the Germans start singing, and and Rick and Victor come out. Victor comes down. He's like, "Play La Marseillaise."
Play La Marseillaise. Play it.
Stop playing the dueling songs, and the Germans shut up, and Yvonne is crying. But you see Victor singing loudly, and you see Elsa smiling, like this is what she sees.
That's what he does. Like, he inspires people. Yep.
Didn't inspire me at all.
Well,
you were singing along with the Germans, you Nazi scum.
I believe it. Excuse me.
No, I just felt bad for friggin' Ricky.
Okay, sorry, I'm parched. I figured you would fill up the dead air.
Nope. This is a drinking podcast. Sometimes we drink.
So the place goes crazy. Strasser tells Renault, need to lock it down. This is great. I don't have an excuse. We'll find an excuse. Blows the whistle, shuts it down.
That was this was my favorite line.
Everybody is to leave here immediately. This cafe is closed until further notice. Clear the room at once.
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
I'm shocked to find out that gambling is going on here. Here are you winning, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, great.
Great. So Strasser tells Ilsa, Laszlo's not safe in Casablanca. You should go to occupied France. Yeah, I'm sure he would be safe there. He could get put in a concentration camp here, or even worse. The other thing is, she's like, as you could see, life is very cheap in Casablanca. So just trying to scare her. She doesn't say anything. Right. They go back to the room. She doesn't want him to go to the underground meeting. He tells her Rick wouldn't sell the papers. He doesn't say why, right?
Oh man, David just let out a big yawn. But he's still
why
awake.
wouldn't he sell them to her? I don't get it. Because he doesn't want her to leave at first. I'm assuming.
Well, he won't sell them to Laszlo, and I don't know. At first he's just still bitter, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Ask your wife. I'm not going to help you. You get the girl, and I'm going to help you, which obviously happens. But so he goes. He's basically understanding. He's like, I understand you that she was, that you were lonely when he was in the concentration camp, right? She doesn't say. They don't really say too much, but there's like an understanding. So she tells him to be careful. Basically, Laszlo is like a symbol of the resistance, a symbol of things that are good, right?
A cuck. Rick's cuck.
Yes, that's another way
too.
of saying it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not off, not completely inaccurate either. Back at Rick tells his guy who's still will still pay everyone, even when they even though they have to close. Goes upstairs. Ilsa's there. Cousin Richard. She asked for the letters. He's sick of hearing what a great man Victor is. She says he isn't fighting for any cause anymore, only himself. Wouldn't believe her about Paris, no matter what she told him. And she calls him a coward. She calls him weak. This is great. This is a great scene. Great acting by her.
Yeah, I think Dave went to take a shit. Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh,
this is really this is probably why she. I mean, it's one of a few scenes. Why she probably did she get nominated?
I don't think she did. No,
I don't even think she did. Which is, she definitely should have. So.
Just for her hotness.
He's like, we'll die if we stay here. She pulls the gun on him. It's her only option. And she's all torn. She tells him she loved him in Paris, still loves him. Tells Rick what happened, married. He was in a concentration camp, heard he was dead when he was trying to escape. She was told right before they left Paris he was still alive. And what he asked her about now, she said she can't leave Rick anymore. No matter what, she's with Rick. So she won't run away from him again. Says he must get Laszlo out, though.
Then he'll have his work, all that he's been living for.
All except one. He won't have you.
I can't fight it anymore. I ran away from you once. I can't do it again. I don't know what's right any longer. You have to think for both of us. For all of us.
All right. I will. Here's looking at you, kid.
I wish I didn't love you so much.
Laszlo's meeting Carl. They're at Rick's. They escaped the meeting, right? They got broken up. And Rick brings Carl up and tells him to take, he sees Ilsa. He's like, oh, shit. Tells him to take her home. And so Rick goes and talks to Victor, asks him why he does it, why fight. He says natural is breathing.
Yes.
It's like he said, you sound like a man trying to escape your own destiny. You can tell you're in love. We're in love with the same woman. So knows that's why he won't give him the letters. He at least takes Ilsa with him. So obviously Victor pretty selfless himself, right?
Yep.
He's like, you love her that much? Rick says, I'm also a human being. Yes, I love her that much. So Louis' men come, take Laszlo. And Rick gives him a little wisecrack, huh? Gives him a little smirk. He says something about destiny. So
Yeah, I don't remember that.
no.
Do you think Rick was really going to try to sell him out for real, or no? Was that just not a plan?
No,
I don't know. He might have been telling himself that he was. I don't know. I don't think so. He's too good a guy, really. I mean, you could see with some of his deeds. So Rick is at the station telling Louis he could just fine him. Oh, Rick's at the police station, right? He's trying, he's trying to get him. It's like, what are you arresting him for, really? And he's like, why are you getting involved? And Louis tells him he knows he has the letters. Don't count on his friendship. My hands are tied. Louis says this, don't count if you get involved. Don't, my hands are tied yet. Says he does have the letters. He's flying out to. This is when he lays it all out. Flying out tonight with Ilsa, so you don't need to worry about me helping Laszlo. Louis is like, well, you could have already left with her. Why did you come all the way down here? And he's like, well, I want to basically set him up. Says I'm going to arrange a call with, he arranges the meeting with him. So they're going to meet at Rick's, and they can get him then for a real charge of buying the letters.
right. That's where they can. Yeah.
So, and Louis says he's surprised. I've never seen you so taken with a woman. And he's still apprehensive. He's like, that's when he calls, makes the arrangements with Ferrari before leaving. He wants his employees taken care of. He wants Sam taken care of. So Louis shows up at Rick's. Rick shows him the papers. They were in Sam's piano.
The one place that's where he said, I wish I
was musical.
Yes, that's right.
So he tells him to hide in the office, and Victor and Ilsa come. So, Victor's outside. That's quite a lot.
I just saw Dave's chest, and so he's like looking at himself in the phone. I could tell.
No, I'm not. I was scratching myself. Why
you were like this? All of a sudden, your giant V-neck was showing half your shoulder, half your shaved chest.
It looks like a dating app that I don't want to.
Yeah. Swipe right.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
Keep going.
So where were we before I got thrown off by Dave's chest? So, sorry. So Ilsa's like, Victor still thinks I'm going with him. He was outside settling up with the cab. I don't know what that. So he's like, I got everything under control, right? Well, everything's all right. Please, he said, just trust me. So Victor goes to pay Rick. Rick says, keep your money. You'll need it in America.
But we made a deal.
Now, never mind that. You won't have any trouble in Lisbon, will you?
No, it's all arranged.
Good. I've got the letters right here, all made out in blank. All you have to do is fill in the signatures.
Victor Laszlo? Victor Laszlo, you're under arrest. On a charge of accessory to the murder of the couriers from whom these letters were stolen.
They both look at Rick.
Oh, you're surprised about my friend Ricky. The explanation is quite simple. Love, it seems, has triumphed over virtue.
Not so fast, Louis. Nobody's going to be arrested, not for a while yet.
Oh, you're surprised by my friend.
I have. Sit down over there.
Put that gun down.
Louis, I wouldn't like to shoot you, but I will.
Because they both looking at him, and then Louis turns around. I thought it was great.
I will sit down.
Not so fast. Not so fast, Louis. Nobody's going to be arrested.
Keep your hands on the table.
I suppose you know what you're doing, but I wonder if you realize what this means.
I do. We've got plenty of time to discuss that later.
Call up your watchdogs, you said.
Just the same, you call the airport and let me hear you tell them. And remember, this gun is pointed right at your heart.
Mike,
that is my least.
You know any of this was gonna like? Did you know?
No, I didn't know any.
I figured that. You realize it was a pre-planned thing, but I thought he was definitely turning on little Louis there.
Well,
it wasn't till
he was, and if he had to.
Yeah, but didn't you assume it was pre-planned with him and Louis?
At one point I thought he was in on it. Then
Louis definitely not in on it. Yes.
You don't think so?
Because he called the Nazi still. That's what threw me off.
Yes, Louis called Strasser.
I was like, wait.
It's a pretty big hole in your theory.
Yeah, I guess.
He's the reason that Strasser was at the airport, right?
True.
So, also, he just wants to cover his own ass, right?
That's the main thing he wants to do.
So not so fast. Nobody's gonna be arrested. And he's like, "Have you taken leave of your senses?" Tells him to sit. He'll shoot him. I think he will shoot him. He had to. He says, "Call ahead to the airport." Say, "Is this the airport?" As he's talking to Strauss.
Right. Yeah.
There'll be 2 letters of transit. Yep. Don't give them any trouble. And then Strauss is like, Strasser tells him to get his car, get a squad to the airport. We see the foggy setting. Rick, Louis, Ilsa, Victor. They have Louis sign the papers, tell him to make it Mr. and Mrs. Lassell. And she's like, what?
Why my name, Richard? Because you're getting on that plane.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard, no. What has happened to you? Last night
Last night we said a great many things. You said I was to do the thinking for both of us. Well, I've done a lot of it since then. It all adds up to one thing. You're getting on that plane with Victor where you belong.
But, Richard, no,
Now, you've got to listen to me. You have any idea what you'd have to look forward to if you stayed here? 9 chances out of 10, we'd both wind up at a concentration camp. Isn't that true, Louis?
I'm afraid Major Strasser would insist.
You're saying this only to make me go.
I'm saying it because it's true. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. You're part of his work, the thing that keeps him going. If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris. We didn't have, we lost it until you came to Casablanca. We got it back last night.
When I said I would never leave you.
And you never will. But I've got a job to do, too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of 3 little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. Now. He's looking at you, kid.
You belong with him. He gives an awesome little speech, right? We'll always have Paris. We didn't for a while.
There's another thing. We'll always have Paris. That is a. We'll always have this. Well, that is from this. Anytime you hear, we'll always have.
It is.
That right there.
You'll always have what, Mikey? Like a donut. You'll always.
Yeah, you'll always have
chicken nuggets with French fries.
You'll always have a mirror. You'll always have Nair. Things like that. Yeah.
We'll always have hair plugs.
I don't.
Sorry.
I thought it. I didn't say it.
If you can afford it, go for it.
So, anyways, great line, great delivery, great job.
He gave one more.
He gives one more.
You, kid.
You know, he's looking at you, kid. Awesome. So Strauss is coming. Rick has a little talk with Victor, right? He says, Ilsa was with me last night. I just want to tell you that.
I gave it to her good one last time.
Yeah, she was pretending to be in love with me, but I knew better.
Yeah. Oh, right. He kind of, you see,
And so Louis knew that was right. Louis was like,
it's very Saul Goodman of him.
Yes, very Saul Goodman.
What you just did for Laszlo, that fairy tale you invented to send Ilsa away with him. I know a little about women, my friend. She went, but she knew you were lying.
Anyway, thanks for helping me out.
I suppose you know this isn't going to be very pleasant for either of us, especially for you. I'll have to arrest you, of course.
As soon as the plane goes, Louis.
What was the meaning of that phone call? Victor Laszlo is on that plane.
Louis saying he'll have to arrest him. Strasser shows up, and this is Rick pulls the gun. Strasser doesn't seem too, too threatened. He's like, this second guy's not going to shoot me. Put the phone down. You know, finally, he's like, he pulls the gun, and then. Rick shoots him, and you have a pretty, melodramatic.
Oh, but apparently his bullet. I thought maybe he hit Rick, but nope.
Okay. Louis' men show up, and this is where it's like, oh shit! You just have Rick arrested, and
Major Strasser has been shot.
Round up the usual suspects.
Oui, mon capitaine.
He says this is where he gives the great line. He says Major Strasser's been shot. He looks at him and he says, "Round up the usual suspects." Rick smiles. So Louis goes to drink the Vichy water. He throws it away. A little bit symbolic, right? You see a cool shot of the plane flying away. And might be a good idea for you to disappear. You know, there's a free French garrison. I can arrange passage. 10,000 francs should pay our expenses, and then you get the...
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Go ahead, Mike. Give the delivery.
He's like,
Louis, I think this is the beginning
of a beautiful friendship. And Louis said, "Well, remember what I said. If you are a woman, Sorry,
could you wear this mascara?"
Yes.
So, classic movie.
Classic movie. It. I love when a classic movie lives up to its classicness. You know, I'm not saying Taken's a classic movie, but when I've heard about Taken for so many years and then I watched it, I went, meh. You know,
you're not saying Wrath of Man is classic.
I'm not saying Wrath of Man's a classic movie, but I heard about it from this guy constantly, and I watched. I went, it's all right.
What?
By the way,
man, David, try to keep up.
Well, I guess we should wrap this up first before I start talking about the Gray Man. But
yes, so
fantastic movie.
As Louis, Louis, whatever the hell his name is, said while he let Rick off the hook to round up the usual suspects, and that I think is a perfect lead into our next movie.
Why are you talking like that?
Shut up, asshole. That's how podcasters talk. You talk slow like this to try to deliver drama. Next time, we're doing from 1995, The Usual Suspect, starring Kevin Spacey, directed by Bryan Singer. Both of them.
Where have they been?
Don't look into their personal lives. Just watch the movie. The Usual Suspects. Looking forward to it. Everyone here has seen it before, right?
Great flick. Hundreds of times. Maybe not hundreds, but it was a cable special.
I have a good story of the first time I watched it. But I'll save that until next time. I want to thank everyone for listening and subscribing. You can find us on Twitter at @fine_movies, on Instagram at @fine_movies, Fine Spirits. And of course, if you're just finding us through the website, fansnotexperts.com, we're available anywhere podcasts can be found. If you're on Apple Podcast, go ahead and give us a review, a rating. Just give us praise. If you're on Spotify, click that little star. Give us as many possible stars as you can. Once again, my co-host, Christopher and David, do you have any parting words before we leave?
I don't like the way you talk.
That's not really a parting word.
It's not really a parting word.
I don't think I have anything, Michael.
Once again, thank you, everybody who is listening and subscribing. David, say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye.
Oh, I mixed it up a little, and I screwed it up anyway. So
it was a curveball.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah, you threw me a curveball, Mikey. Fucking amazing.
We talk about great movies while drinking. We talk about great movies while drinking. Yeah, we talk about great movies while drinking. And we feel fine.
Dave, you're going to watch the movie, or you're going to talk?
I'll listen to you too. Good.
Oh, with two. Cool. You think you're going to turn down the movie?
Yeah, I'll turn it down.
Good.
Fans not experts.